On the borders of North America lies a land where winter is not just a season, but a test of survival to the extreme limit. When temperatures fall to -40 degrees Celsius, the moose silently crosses the snow-covered forests, while the Arctic fox moves over the snow surface like an almost invisible white shadow. Here, just a few minutes of exposure to the cold are enough to end life. The wind howls over the endless expanses of snow and ice, carrying a penetrating cold and a deadly silence. Welcome to frozen Canada, extreme survival at -40 degrees Celsius in the most brutal cold. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell to support us. Where are you watching this video from? Leave a comment below. Without further delay, let's begin. For Canada's wildlife, winter is not just enduring the cold. It is a complex ecological battlefield where the predator-prey relationship is constantly reshaped by the change of season, where food is increasingly scarce, and where hundreds of species of mammals, birds, and small creatures must face not only extreme natural elements, but also the hunger of the very creatures that share their territory. In this vast territory, Canada is currently home to more than 200 mammal species and nearly 500 bird species, many of which are forced to survive entirely during the prolonged and harsh winter. The fragile balance that exists in the warmer months quickly transforms into a primal and desperate state as the temperature continues to drop profoundly and snow begins to fall densely. In many areas of the boreal forest, winter can last 5 to 7 months a year, turning most of the landscape into an environment where energy is the most precious resource. When autumn turns into winter, the first conflicts begin to appear. Territories that were once rich enough to share now become a commodity to fight for. Predators are forced to adjust their hunting strategies, as many traditional prey species disappear into hibernation, while the remaining ones become harder to track under deep snow. Competition for resources escalates with the severity of winter. Even small species like the black-capped chickadee must compete fiercely for access to the limited remaining insects and seeds. Recent ecological studies show that in years with strong climatic fluctuations, the winter survival rate of many bird species and small mammals tends to decrease due to increased energy costs and reduced feeding time. The social dynamics within many species also change notably. Arctic foxes, which often live alone in summer, sometimes form loose bonds to increase foraging opportunities. Larger predators, which avoid each other under normal conditions, may be forced into direct competition when accessing a rare food source. At the scale of the entire ecosystem, recent analyses indicate that the change in snow structure and the timing of freezing are affecting dozens of predator and prey species, altering ecological relationships that have been stable for many generations. In this context, large species become the pillars of the boreal winter. Canada is currently home to hundreds of thousands of moose, millions of caribou in the tundra and taiga regions, along with approximately several tens of thousands of grizzly bears sparsely distributed in the wild areas of the west and north. The existence of these species is not only a story of size or strength, but a testament to long-term adaptation capacity to prolonged winters, food scarcity, and a constant pressure to survive. In the grey, cold sky and along the forest corridors, the raven appears as a silent observer. As one of the few bird species present year-round across most of the Canadian territory, the raven plays a vital role in connecting winter with spring. When the snow melts, it helps eliminate carrion, redistributing nutrients and helping to maintain the ecological cycle for hundreds of other species that indirectly depend on this process. The interactions between predation, competition, and opportunity can quickly become ruthless, because what is at stake is not just territory or food, but the survival capacity of the entire biological community during the longest, darkest, and coldest months of the year. In the context of current climate change, the Canadian winter is no longer just a familiar challenge, but is becoming a new test, where the fate of each species is closely tied to the stability of the entire boreal ecosystem. Amidst those vast white lands that seem lifeless, there are small but extremely effective predators. Creatures that have turned winter into an advantage instead of a death sentence. One of them is the Arctic fox, the symbol of perfect adaptation to the icy world. The Arctic fox emerges from its burrow when the first signs of dawn tinge the snowy landscape with silver and blue. The transformation of its grey-brown summer coat to immaculate white winter coat has been completed, making it almost invisible against the snow, except for its black snout and dark eyes. This extraordinary creature, weighing no more than a domestic cat, has become one of the most efficient cold-weather survivors in nature. The fox's preparation for winter begins months earlier, long before the first snowfall. During the brief Arctic summer, It feeds ravenously on lemmings, birds' eggs and carrion, accumulating fat reserves that now account for almost 20% of its body weight. This fat serves as insulation and fuel, providing energy during the scarce months of winter, when prey becomes rare and hunting requires great effort in deep snow. Its winter coat is a marvel. The fox has developed a dense inner layer of hair which retains warm air near the body, while the longer guard hairs protect it from wind and moisture. The fur extends to the paw pads, providing it with natural snowshoes, distributing weight and providing traction on icy surfaces. Its ears have become smaller and rounder than in summer, reducing heat loss, while its snout has shortened to minimize exposure to freezing air. The fox stops at the entrance of its den, sniffing the air with its keen senses. Its hearing is so sensitive that it can detect the movement of a lemming under 60 centimeters of snow. This ability, combined with incredible patience and quick reflexes, makes it a formidable hunter, even in the harshest conditions. Its burrow is a complex network of tunnels and chambers that the fox has inherited from previous generations, or dug over several seasons. Some of these burrows are centuries old, passed down from generation to generation and expanded over time into small underground cities. As winter progresses, the fox's behavior becomes increasingly opportunistic. It follows polar bears at a safe distance, waiting for the opportunity to feed on their kills. It raids the food caches of other animals when the opportunity arises. Most notably, it has learned to hunt seals at their breathing holes, a behavior that requires incredible patience and timing. The fox can wait motionless for hours next to a hole in the ice, ready to pounce as soon as a seal surfaces to breathe. The fox's hunting technique in the snow is admirable. It remains still with its head tilted, listening for the faint sounds of prey moving beneath the surface. When it pinpoints the location, it leaps high and dives headfirst into the snow, often disappearing completely. It often emerges with a lemming or vole firmly clamped in its jaws. This behavior, known as mousing, requires incredible precision and accounts for a significant part of the fox's winter diet. Territory becomes crucial in the winter months. A single fox can occupy an area of up to 30 square kilometers, marking boundaries with scent and protecting them from intruders. These territories often overlap with those of other predators, leading to dangerous encounters. The fox must constantly balance the need to hunt with the risk of becoming prey. Wolves, lynx, and even large owls are significant threats to the Arctic fox, forcing it to be constantly alert. The fox's den behavior changes during winter. During the coldest periods, it may remain in the burrow for days, curled up in a tight ball with its bushy tail wrapped around its body like a blanket. Its metabolic rate decreases significantly during these rest periods, conserving energy until a hunting opportunity arises. The fox can survive temperatures down to -40 degrees Celsius, thanks to its exceptional insulation and behavioral adaptations. Beneath the vast grasslands of Canada, a complex network of underground burrows is home to one of the masters of winter survival, the Richardson's ground squirrel. To cope with the extreme cold of the surface, this rodent spends months preparing its underground shelter and enters a state of full hibernation that lasts about 7 to 8 months. Very different from its arboreal relatives who remain active all year round. The preparation process begins in late summer, when the squirrel gains almost 40% of its body weight, accumulating a layer of fat that not only provides long-term energy, but also acts as a biological insulator, where brown fat around vital organs allows for quick heat generation when needed. Simultaneously, the burrow system is constructed with astonishing precision. The hibernation chamber is located about 3 meters underground, below the layer of soil that does not freeze, where the temperature is stable throughout the winter, while subsidiary tunnels handle ventilation, escape, and storage, and the sleeping chamber is lined with dry grass to increase heat retention capacity. When daylight hours decrease, the squirrel seals most burrow entrances, leaving only carefully camouflaged ventilation slots. And from here, hibernation is activated by the environment, but operated under the control of a biological clock that has evolved over thousands of years. In this state, the body undergoes profound physiological transformations. Temperature drops from approximately 37 degrees Celsius to nearly 2 degrees Celsius. Heart rate from over 300 beats per minute to just a few, and metabolism reduces to less than 5% of the normal level, causing non-essential organ systems to almost stop to save maximum energy. However, hibernation is not completely continuous, as every few weeks the squirrel briefly wakes up to perform essential physiological functions. Although each awakening consumes a considerable amount of energy and forces the body to maintain a precise balance of fat reserves. At the same time, the microenvironment inside the burrow, with adequate depth, humidity, and ventilation, plays a decisive role in survival capacity, even when the risk of being hunted by weasels, snakes, and other species still exists. Finally, the timing of ending hibernation has vital strategic significance, as waking up too early means snowstorms and food shortages, while too late causes the squirrel to miss the short breeding season. So males often wake up first to establish territory. Females follow a few weeks later, closing the long and harsh winter and opening a new life cycle. Traversing the deep snow of the boreal forest, a majestic silhouette moves with surprising grace among the towering fir and spruce trees. The moose, standing over 2 meters at the shoulder and weighing the size of a small car, is one of nature's most impressive demonstrations of how size can become a vital advantage in extreme winter. As the largest member of the deer family, this animal has developed extraordinary adaptations, allowing it to not only survive but also maintain an advantage in conditions where even the most cold-tolerant species struggle. The moose's preparation for winter begins with notable changes in behavior and physiology in late autumn. As day length shortens and temperature drops profoundly, the animal's metabolism slows significantly, reducing energy needs compared to summer. Thanks to this, the moose can survive on lower quality food sources during a period when nutrient-rich vegetation almost disappears. The development of the winter coat is a masterpiece of the natural insulation mechanism. In late summer, the moose grows a thick layer of guard hairs, which are hollow and trap air as an effective insulation layer. Beneath is a dense inner layer of hair that helps the body maintain a stable temperature, even when winter temperatures fall to extremely low levels. The darker color of the coat also helps absorb the scarce solar radiation during the short winter days. The moose's colossal size, which seems to be a disadvantage in deep snow, actually provides many advantages. Its long legs allow it to stride through layers of snow that would trap smaller species, while its wide hooves act as natural snowshoes, distributing weight over the snow surface. The large body mass also helps the moose lose heat more slowly, a crucial advantage in prolonged cold environments. The feeding strategy changes markedly as winter progresses. The moose shifts from a diverse summer diet to a sparse winter menu, consisting mainly of branches and shoots from woody plants like willow, quaking aspen, birch, and balsam fir. To meet energy demands, it must consume large amounts of plant material each day. The 4-chambered stomach allows for prolonged fermentation of cellulose, extracting nutrients from food sources that most other animals cannot digest. This digestive process not only provides energy but also generates internal heat, which contributes to maintaining body temperature during the coldest months. As winter drags on, the moose's foraging behavior becomes more calculated. They prioritize young, nutrient-rich branches, creating clear browse lines in the forest, where vegetation is consumed up to the maximum height they can reach. The moose's social behavior also changes seasonally. Although they often live alone in summer, in winter they may gather in loose groups in areas with food sources and wind shelter. The movement of many individuals together creates compacted trails in the snow, which helps reduce energy expenditure for the entire group, although competition is always present. In extreme cold conditions, thermoregulation becomes a constant challenge. The moose must balance heat retention with the amount of heat generated by digestion and movement. On the coldest days, they may seek refuge in dense forests or even lie down directly on the snow, using the snow itself as a natural insulator. The moose's cardiovascular system is also adapted to winter. Blood flow to the extremities can be reduced during deep cold spells to conserve heat for vital organs, while the thick layer of hair extending down the legs helps protect the most vulnerable areas. The risk of being hunted increases in winter. Although adult moose have few natural enemies, deep snow can make them vulnerable to exploitation by wolf packs, especially individuals weakened by prolonged winter or trapped in unfavorable terrain. Chases in the snow can rapidly exhaust the prey. Therefore, energy conservation becomes the top priority. The moose utilizes existing trails, limits unnecessary movement, and reduces daily active time, spending more time resting compared to summer. This behavioral adaptation helps them maximize limited energy sources during the long cold months. While the giant moose retreats deep into the taiga forest to cope with the cold, a completely different survival strategy takes place in the lowlands. Under the layer of ice covering ponds and lakes, the beaver, North America's largest rodent, does not flee winter, but builds it into a living fortress. The beaver lodge stands in the middle of the frozen pond, emerging as a domed, sturdy fortress. Inside this structure, a beaver family has created a warm, dry space sufficient to shelter them during the harsh Canadian winter months. The lodge is the result of many months of precise work, displaying an architectural instinct perfected over millions of years of evolution. Preparation for winter begins in late summer. The entire beaver family works tirelessly to strengthen the lodge and expand the food cache. The lodge is built with firmly interwoven sticks, logs, mud, and stones. The living chamber is located above water level and is only accessible through underwater tunnels, entrances that remain unfrozen even when the ice layer on the surface is thick enough to support the weight of a moose. The lodge walls are incredibly thick, sometimes exceeding 1 meter at the base, which provides superior insulation. On the coldest winter nights, when air temperature drops to approximately minus 30 degrees Celsius, the lodge interior maintains a temperature just above freezing, warmed by the body heat of the members and the layer of frozen mud and wood surrounding it. The most vital factor in the beaver's winter strategy is the underwater food cache. Throughout autumn, they fell dozens of trees, cut them into segments, and drag them into deep water near the lodge. These branches are anchored to the pond bottom with mud and stones, creating a cache large enough to feed the entire family for months when the water surface is completely frozen. Beavers particularly favour the inner bark of aspen, willow and birch, a constant source of energy throughout the winter. A typical beaver family can store several tons of wood, representing many weeks of continuous work. The food cache must be positioned deep enough so that it does not freeze completely, yet close enough to be easily accessible through the underwater tunnels. When winter descends, the beaver pond is sealed under a thick layer of ice. This ice layer is both a protective barrier and a natural insulator. Terrestrial predators like wolves or lynx cannot gain access, but in exchange, the beaver is also isolated in the world beneath the ice for months. The beaver's physiology is perfectly adapted to this environment. Its lungs allow continuous dives of up to approximately 10 to 15 minutes, enough time to swim from the lodge to the food cache and back without having to surface. Its double-layered coat, webbed feet and strong tail make them efficient swimmers in near-freezing water. Life within the winter shelter follows a rhythm of energy conservation. Family members huddle together to stay warm, only leaving the lodge when they need to forage for food. Most of the remaining time is spent on grooming, an essential behavior that helps maintain insulation and social communication through gentle contact and small sounds. Unlike many other mammals, the beaver does not hibernate. They maintain a stable body temperature throughout the winter, relying completely on the insulating coat, the lodge structure, and the stored food source. The combination of architecture, physiology, and social life has made the beaver one of the best adapted living beings to the Canadian winter. A small figure rapidly slips between snow-covered fir branches, appearing and disappearing in the blink of an eye. The black-capped chickadee, weighing only a few paper clips, is clear proof that size does not determine survival capacity. While many larger birds are forced to migrate or enter hibernation, this small bird clings on and remains active throughout the harsh Canadian winter. In terms of shape and behavior, the chickadee has many similarities with familiar small birds of temperate regions, such as sparrows, finches, or other tit species. They continuously move between branches, examining tree bark and low vegetation for food, common behaviors in the small bird world in winter. This similarity helps them easily integrate into mixed flocks and utilize the same resources. However, what makes the chickadee stand out is not its shape, but its level of biological adaptation. In autumn, they enter an intense caching phase, hiding thousands of seeds and insects in tree bark crevices, under lichen and throughout their territory. Unlike many other small birds that only rely on continuous foraging, the chickadeer can precisely remember the location of these caches for weeks or months. This ability is supported by the seasonal development of the hippocampus, the brain region associated with spatial memory. The bird's body also changes noticeably in preparation for winter. In late autumn, the summer plumage is replaced by a thicker layer of winter plumage with a significantly higher number of feathers. These feather layers create air pockets that trap heat, allowing the bird to fluff up its feathers to increase insulation when the temperature drops profoundly. Functionally, this mechanism is similar to that of many other small birds, but in the chickadee, efficiency is taken to an optimal level. In terms of social behavior, the chickadee often joins mixed winter flocks with many other common small birds. These flocks offer great advantages: increased capacity to detect predators, sharing of information about food sources, and reduced heat loss when individuals perch close to each other. Within the flock structure, the chickadee often maintains a central role, quickly detecting food and emitting warning signals, indirectly supporting accompanying species. The chickadee's winter diet is very flexible. From insects and spiders in the warm seasons, they switch to stored seeds, insect eggs, and larvae hidden in tree bark. They use ingenious feeding techniques like hanging upside down from branches, thanks to their strong legs and sharp claws for gripping firmly even small branches, behaviors also often seen in many other small birds in the winter forest. The chickadee's most notable adaptation is the state of torpor, lethargy. On cold nights, they can reduce their body temperature to approximately 10 degrees Celsius and drastically lower their metabolic rate. Not all small birds possess this capacity. Thanks to this, the chickadee conserves energy during the long nights when the temperature can drop below -30 degrees Celsius, although it must accept the risk of being vulnerable and needs a lot of energy to warm up again in the morning. Therefore, the overnight roosting site becomes a vital factor. The chickadee seeks hollows in trees, old woodpecker holes, or dense vegetation to avoid wind and predators. Sometimes several individuals perch together in the same hollow, sharing body heat on the coldest nights. These safe positions are often learned and remembered, especially in experienced individuals. The bird's brain also changes seasonally. While the hippocampus develops to serve spatial memory, regions related to song shrink, and the complex songs of the breeding season are replaced by short, simple calls, which help maintain contact within the flock in adverse weather conditions. Winter survival requires extremely high energy efficiency. Every day, the chickadee needs to consume an amount of food equivalent to approximately 20 to 25% of its body weight. forcing them to forage almost continuously. Ice storms, deep snow, and strong winds are always threats, but this small bird has learned to take advantage of the rare calm moments of winter to feed quickly and seek shelter when conditions become severe. Amidst the leaden grey sky of the boreal forest, a deep caw resonates, breaking the silence of the Canadian winter. The common raven, Corvus corax, the largest bird species in the corvid family, hovers high up. Its wide wings of nearly 1.3 meters spread like black sails in the cold wind. Weighing an average of 1 to 1.5 kilograms, the raven is not the strongest predator, but it is one of the most intelligent and adaptable creatures of this icy land. Unlike many birds that are forced to migrate south when winter arrives, the raven stays. It faces snow, ice, and food scarcity directly with intelligence, memory, and the ability to seize every survival opportunity. In the coldest months, when insects disappear and vegetation is buried under deep snow, the raven gradually shifts to a role as a scavenger and opportunist. Winter turns the raven into a silent observer. From above, they follow the movements of wolf packs, lynx and foxes, knowing that where there is predation, sooner or later there will be food scraps. The raven can remember carrion locations for days, even weeks, and return at the right moment when the ice begins to break or when the predator has left. Behavioral studies show that the raven has the ability to recognize signs of weakness in other animals. A slow gait, unusual behavior, or separation from the herd. This helps them access food sources much earlier than many other scavengers. It is this ability to stay one step ahead that often makes the raven appear where death has just occurred, or is about to occur. When spring gradually yields to winter and snow begins to melt, the raven's role becomes particularly clear. Along thawing streams, forest edges, and cold Canadian coasts, the carcasses of species that could not survive the winter emerge from the snow layer. The raven is one of the first species to access it, contributing to cleaning the environment and preventing the spread of disease. Ecologically, the raven plays an essential role in the nutrient recycling cycle. By consuming carrion, they return the energy frozen throughout the winter to the ecosystem, indirectly nourishing the soil, water, and other species as the growing season begins. Death in the raven's world is not an end, but a resource. The raven's intelligence sets it apart from most other birds in Canada. The raven's brain, compared to its body size, is as large as that of many primates. They have the ability to solve problems, use simple tools, learn from each other, and even remember human faces for years. Individuals who have been threatened can warn the entire flock, creating a network of collective memory rarely seen in the bird world. It is the combination of intelligence, scavenging, and winter that has given the raven a special image in the indigenous culture of North America. In the legends of the Inuit, Haida, and many Canadian tribes, the raven is not a bringer of death, but a recognizer of death. It is seen as a creature that stands on the border between life and death, appearing where natural order is in transition. The image of the raven as a messenger of death does not come from superstition, but from real observation dating back thousands of years. Humans noticed that where ravens congregate, there is often carry-on, exhaustion, or an imminent event. In a land where winter can kill in just a few days, that capacity has a profound survival meaning. When spring fully arrives, the raven gradually moves away from the grim role of winter. They begin to build nests on cliffs, tall trees, or coastal headlands, lay eggs, and raise their chicks. The diet becomes more diverse, including insects, eggs of other birds, berries, and food scraps left by humans. But the memory of winter, of death, and scarcity still shapes their behavior. In the Canadian ecosystem, the raven is not a hero nor an omen. It is a witness. Witness to death, rebirth, and the relentless cycle of nature. Between the ice, the snow, and the ancient forest, the raven's harsh call resonates as a reminder that, to survive in this land, intelligence is sometimes as important as strength. While small creatures like the black-capped chickadee must face winter with flexibility, memory, and incessant activity, at the other end of the survival spectrum, large mammals choose a completely different strategy. When the rhythm of life in the boreal forest slows down and the cold squeezes all resources, life shifts from constant movement to a state of storage and waiting. The majestic figure of a North American grizzly bear, a land animal that can weigh up to 300 kilograms, advances slowly through the autumnal forest. Its dense fur has already begun to show the inner layer that will protect this massive body throughout the winter. Every step is intentional, every foraging has vital meaning, as the apex predator prepares for one of nature's most extraordinary survival strategies. Hibernation, the grizzly bear's method for spending winter, is the result of millions of years of evolution and physiological refinement. The preparation phase for this sleep, known as hyperphagia, turns the bear into a literal eating machine. In the late months of summer and autumn, a grizzly bear can consume up to 20,000 calories per day, compared to approximately 5,000 calories in summer. This frantic feeding causes the bear to gain an average of 2 kilograms per day, with some individuals almost doubling their weight before entering the den. Every berry, salmon, root, or small animal becomes fuel for the long winter ahead. The choice of the hibernation den is a vital decision. The ideal den must be well insulated, stable, protected from the wind, and difficult to detect. Bears may dig new dens or renovate old ones, sometimes taking weeks to complete the shelter. These dens are often located on north-facing slopes, where snow accumulation forms a natural insulating layer. The sleeping chamber is wide enough for the bear to turn around and lie comfortably, while the entrance is narrow and slightly angled to limit heat loss. The bear lines the den with grass, leaves, and soft material, creating a simple but effective bed. When winter arrives and the bear retreats to its den, one of the most impressive physiological transformations in the animal kingdom begins. Unlike deep hibernators like ground squirrels or bats, the bear enters a state of torpor, lethargy, in which bodily functions slow down, but it can still wake up when threatened. Heart rate reduces from approximately 40 to 50 beats per minute to only about 8. Breathing becomes slow and shallow, and body temperature only slightly decreases from approximately 38 degrees Celsius to around 34 degrees Celsius. This moderate reduction, combined with the large volume and thick fur layer, helps maintain the activity of vital organs while energy demand is drastically reduced. The bear's metabolic rate is reduced to approximately 25% of normal, allowing it to live entirely off fat reserves for up to 7 months without eating, drinking, urinating, or defecating. What is even more remarkable, pregnant female bears give birth immediately during torpor, usually in January or February. The cubs are very small, weighing less than 0.5 kilograms, and are nourished with energy-rich mother's milk in the warmth of the den, while their mother still survives thanks to the stored fat layer. The bear's fat is not just an energy source. It also acts as an insulating layer, supports thermoregulation, and includes brown fat deposits around vital organs that help generate heat when needed. The bear's body recycles urea into proteins, limiting muscle loss during long periods of inactivity. Water is also regenerated from fat metabolism and reabsorbed into the body, helping the bear avoid dehydration without leaving the den. The timing of the grizzly bear's den entry and exit closely depends on environmental conditions and the physical condition of each individual. Most bears enter the den from October to December, when food is scarce and stable snow forms, and emerge from March to May, when spring begins to melt the ice and the first food sources appear. female bears with cubs are often the last to leave the den, waiting until exterior conditions are safe enough for the cub's first steps. When spring fully arrives, the mother bear guides her cubs out of the den, traversing the reviving taiga forests, following thawing streams and low valleys where food gradually returns. In the initial stage, the young are still heavily reliant on energy-rich mother's milk, while learning to forage for roots, insects, and the first seasonal food sources. These slow movements are both a feeding journey and an important survival lesson, helping the cubs adapt to a large, risk-filled world outside the den. However, not all winters end smoothly. Bears that do not accumulate enough fat may be forced to leave the den in mid-cold to search for food, an option that often leads to exhaustion and death. Today, climate change and disturbance from human activities are disrupting this natural hibernation rhythm, causing bears to wake up earlier or be forced to abandon their dens at unfavorable times, which significantly reduces the chances of survival for both mother and cubs. In the cold winter air, the grey wolf's howl travels 8 to 10 kilometers across the snowy landscape, thanks to high air density and low environmental noise, allowing individuals to maintain contact over a vast territory. The grey wolf not only survives winter but optimizes it, relying on close social coordination and specialized physiological adaptations. Unlike solitary or hibernating species, the wolf maintains an active metabolism year-round and depends entirely on the pack, where every individual must maintain a stable body mass to ensure hunting efficiency, with sufficient fat reserves but not exceeding the threshold that reduces speed and endurance. The pack's social structure plays a key role, as the alpha pair coordinates the hunt, controls territory, and allocates resources, and the hierarchical order ensures that the most efficient hunters access food first, maintaining the ability to provide energy to the entire group. Physiologically, the winter wolf's double coat consists of a weather and wind-resistant outer layer along with a dense inner layer that retains warm air near the skin, which helps reduce heat loss so effectively that the body maintains a stable temperature even when the ambient drops to nearly minus 40 degrees Celsius. This allows them to rest directly on the snow in a curled-up posture, reducing contact area and using the bushy tail to cover the muzzle and forelimbs. In hunting, the pack exploits deep snow as a tactical factor, taking turns breaking trail to reduce energy expenditure and corralling large ungulates like moose or deer into deep snow areas, where the large body weight and small hoof area increase the prey's locomotion cost. While the wolf's wide paws distribute weight effectively, acting as natural snowshoes. Thanks to the structure of its long limbs, slow-twitch fiber-rich muscles, and an energy-saving gait, a wolf pack can travel 30 to 50 kilometers per day, patrolling and exploiting territories ranging from 200 to 1,000 square kilometers, and tracking potential food sources. In the period of greatest scarcity, carrion becomes an important energy source, which reduces the cost of hunting, and the pack structure allows for rapid detection, occupation, and protection of these nutritional resources against other scavengers. The howling communication system plays a vital ecological role in maintaining pack structure, coordinating the hunt, and avoiding territorial conflicts, being particularly effective in cold and quiet conditions. The wolf's reproductive cycle is closely linked to winter ecology, as mating takes place at the end of the cold season so that the young are born after about 63 days of gestation, coinciding with the peak prey reproduction phase in late spring, optimizing the chance of survival for the new generation. However, winter is also a severe selective pressure, as weak or low-ranking individuals may be forced to leave the pack, becoming lone wolves with a high mortality rate, in a context of increasing interspecific competition when resources are limited. In the boreal ecosystem, the grey wolf is a clear demonstration that collective strategy and physiological adaptations can be as important as individual strength. The remarkable adaptations that allow these animal species to survive and thrive in the harsh Canadian winter are the result of millions of years of evolutionary refinement. Each species has formed distinct survival strategies, sometimes so specialized that they seem irreplaceable. When combined, these adaptations create a complex network of interactions, shaping the entire Canadian winter ecosystem, where every creature has an inseparable role. However, this ancient balance now faces unprecedented challenges due to increasing human impacts. Climate change is altering the fundamental conditions that these species have evolved to adapt to. Winter temperatures in Canada have risen faster than the global average, leading to shorter, more irregular winters. Winter warming disrupts the bear's hibernation cycle, changes the snow structure that the lynx and Arctic fox rely on for hunting, and directly affects food availability for small birds like the chickadee and raven. The human impact on these winter-surviving creatures presents a stark contrast to their extraordinary adaptation capacities. This influence extends even to the most remote wild regions, affecting animals in ways both subtle and obvious, short-term and long-term. Industrial development has fragmented the vast territories that wolves need to hunt in packs. Roads, pipelines, logging, and mining create physical barriers, forcing wolves and lynx to move close to human areas, which increases conflict and reduces hunting efficiency in winter. Beaver populations, although strongly recovered compared to the past and still stable in many areas, face new pressures from changing water levels. dam construction, river diversion, and precipitation fluctuation disrupt the pond systems that beavers designed to survive winter, leading to cascading impacts on many other species that rely on stable aquatic environments. North American grizzly bear hibernation areas are increasingly disturbed. Logging, mining activities, recreational vehicles, and even research activities can force bears to abandon their dens during key periods of hibernation. For individuals weighing 200 to over 300 kilograms, being awakened at the wrong time can deplete accumulated fat reserves from summer and autumn, severely reducing the survival capacity of both mother and cubs. Even flexible and intelligent species like the raven, which currently maintain stable populations, are showing changes in behavior. Ravens are appearing increasingly closer to northern settlements, reflecting a shift in food sources and profound fluctuations in the winter ecological structure. Despite this, conservation efforts still offer real hope. Protected natural areas help maintain core habitats and vital ecological corridors. Long-term research programs provide essential data to better understand the survival needs of each species. Indigenous knowledge and traditional ecological practices continue to play an important role in shaping sustainable approaches, allowing humans and wildlife to coexist during harsh winters. The future of these species largely depends on the decisions made today regarding land use, energy policy, and conservation priorities. Each species has demonstrated the ability to overcome the harshest challenges nature can pose. The remaining question is whether they can continue to overcome the challenges created by humans themselves in this ancient winter world. Ultimately, the story of winter survival in Canada is not just the story of individual species. It is a story of life's resilience, the power of evolution to create solutions for conditions that seem impossible to exist, and the network of relationships that sustain the entire ecosystem during the longest and coldest months of the year. While the aurora borealis still dances in the starry sky of the Canadian wilderness, these extraordinary creatures continue their ancestral rhythms of survival. The Arctic fox quietly hunts beneath the deep snow. The beaver is safe in its lodge under the ice. The chickadee caches seeds for tomorrow. The raven observes and reconnects life with death. The lynx patiently stalks the forest, and the bear dreams in its deep hibernation. These stories continue season after season as a testament to the power of adaptation and the perseverance of the remaining natural spaces on the planet. By protecting them, we not only protect each species, but also the processes that sustain the diversity of life on Earth. Thank you for joining us to the end of this wild winter journey. Each of your views is invaluable support for spreading knowledge and love for nature. If there is any species or survival strategy that impressed you the most, please share your thoughts in the comments section. See you in the next videos.